Okay, let's see if this is going to work. Oh my goodness me. Um, so yes, basically I'm trying to stream to multiple pages, but mainly to Facebook and YouTube. And let's see, some weird things are going on here that I haven't quite figured out. But we shall see. Let's have a look. Offline. Let's see. It says, how strange. Okay. Well, let's see. It says it's offline, but I guess not, huh? So, let me just double check my YouTube channel here. Once I get this all figured out, then it'll be plain sailing, I'm sure. Let's see here. Let me just go to my channel. Bear with me, folks. And even though I was using copyright, here we go, live. Copyright approved music that I've paid for, Facebook seemed to think that it wasn't. So that was probably an issue as well. So that's odd. I'll have to look at that. But I was using legit music. Anyway, let's have a look. I'm seeing some comments come through. So it looks like I'm live on my Facebook page. I'm sorry, on my YouTube page. I'm seeing that now too. And I'm getting messages from Claire and David and Lizzie and Pete and Bill. Okay, so it looks like, even though it says in my restream, basically what I'm doing, let me explain what's going on here. So I'm using a software called Ecamm, which is really good. Normally I'd have fancy overlay graphics and all kinds of weird things and stuff like that, which I will at some point, probably next time. But right now it doesn't really matter about that stuff. Let me just turn my mic down a bit. And what that does then is I can stream directly from there on my little laptop into another app, which is called Restream, which then sends it out to my, what is it, at the moment, 3 Facebook pages plus YouTube. So I send the feed out once, and then it feeds it out to multiple channels. So that way they handle the bandwidth for everybody else. I've just got to push that one feed out to Restream. So Restream was not showing my personal Facebook page, but it looks like it's my private Facebook page, which a lot of you are actually on. But it looks like it's going through there now finally. So that's good. So you're all guinea pigs, which is fantastic. For me, not for you. It's terrible for you, but it's good for me. But I will figure this stuff out. But on the Restream window, it says I'm offline, so I don't know what's going on there. But I can see your chat here at least for some of this stuff. So okay, and Pat, hey Pat Garrett, hey the good old yummy Pat, and Leroy, Simon, Jessica, hello Jessica, hey long time no see, Jason. All right, so okay, let me know where you're viewing from, which page you're looking at it from, because I have my private, my sort of personal Mike Quinn Facebook page. I've got Mike Quinn Official, which is the one with the Last Jedi picture as the banner, and then Mike Quinn Autographs, and then my YouTube channel. It looks like 2 people are watching live right now. One of them might be me. I don't know. So let me know where you're looking from, and then I will learn from this. JJ, hi. Catherine, oh hello Catherine, up in Canada. So viewing on YouTube. Okay, so Leroy's on YouTube. All right. Sorry about the low quality bandwidth right now. I have where I live. It's like this place was built in the 1830s, and it's like one little row of cottages surrounded by trees and river and lakes and goodness knows what. But it has an old school cable coming into here, so it's adequate for one really good downstream for like a TV streaming Netflix and that kind of thing. I can get good for the most part good downstreaming, but not multiple streams. If there were many people in this house, it wouldn't work. And then uploading, like what I'm doing now, is super tiny. So I'm streaming now at 720p and at 24 frames per second. I'm not streaming normally at the high definition that I would prefer to, and at a higher frame rate. Also, I'm just using the camera, the webcam in my laptop, so that's why it's picture's a bit dodgy. But I will work on that soon and get it all nice and sexy for you all. But okay, Liz is watching on YouTube too. Okay, there we go. And okay, so it seems like it's working now, sort of. There was a connection issue with just my personal page, and I was like, why is that? Because I know I'd done it before, in the summer, I think it was. Anyway, this is an interesting experiment. But what I want to get to here is, obviously I want to be able to connect with you guys a bit more regularly. And ideally I would get to, if I can, once a week. And maybe, mixing in live streams where we can sort of have a bit more of a chat, mix those in with my pre-recorded diary videos and stuff like that. So... it'll take me a little while to get there, but I'm not in any hurry. I'm just kind of gonna make this work for me as I can. So there's no race or anything like that. The main thing is to have it be fun. But I when I can get this all to work, it's going to be great. And next week I'm off out of the country, so I'll be using my phone to record little travel videos of what it's like to do these conventions and stuff like that. So I also have another video that I partially recorded over a week ago, and it all went horribly wrong, and I want to make a video about it going horribly wrong. So that's going to come on at some point soon as well on my my new YouTube channel. But so let's see. Everyone's saying it's looking good. Okay, well that's a miracle, because I have like a tenth of what they recommend for streaming. So if we do get knocked off, if we do get bumped off, which did happen last time I tried to do this months and months and months ago, just come back on and you'll find a new stream, hopefully. But hopefully I won't get bumped off. So we'll see. Anyway, Barbara, hello Barbara, Daryl, Matthew, oh my goodness, look at that, Michael Farnham, yeah, wow, okay, brilliant. So we have a nice little group. Well, thank you for checking in, and for those of you that partake, for tomorrow, happy Valentine's Day. So, well, look, I tell you what, let's get into what I was planning, because there's a few things here that I wanted to talk about. First thing is tomorrow, I think it's tomorrow, is Toby Philpott's birthday. I think he's going to be like 76 or something, so he's a kid yet. Let's have a look. There he is. There's our little Toby in a mystic from the Dark Crystal, which sort of was when I first met Toby. We'll move over a bit. You can't hear me then. When I first met Toby on Dark Crystal, and we were doing Great Muppet Caper at the same time, and rehearsals for Dark Crystal, and of course worked with him on Return of the Jedi. But I wanted to wish Toby a happy birthday. Let's see what else we got. Oh, and of course we always forget that we worked with Toby on Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and that's him in the middle there working this is all us working on the octopus bartender in Roger Rabbit, and there's Toby in the middle at the top working the cigarette lighter and cigarette, I guess. I think he lit a cigarette, the octopus lit a cigarette, so that was all on like strings and stuff. And I was doing the cocktail shaker, which was on a string and a bungee cord set up, so it could be sort of shaken like a cocktail shaker, and they'd animate the octopus on there. So that's Toby on Roger Rabbit. And, of course, Toby inside Jabba the Hutt from the documentary, which some of you will have seen, because he was doing the left arm and the tongue, I believe. Jabba the Hutt's tongue. Oh, there he's juggling. Nice, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rings. Brilliant. I love it. Old shot. So yeah, there's Toby. Let me make that a nice big picture there. There's Toby's hand inside the tongue, and of course I slammed it all up, and he kind of, I think, was supposed to like tried to attempt to sort of slobber over Carrie, but I think accidentally he probably did actually lick Carrie Fisher by mistake. And there's another nice old run of Toby there juggling on a chair with back in those days it was black and white except for the juggling balls, which were sort of a teal blue apparently. So anyway, good old Toby, he's a good lad, and he comes from a puppetry background as well, live puppetry too. So and we've done a lot of events together as well, of course, a lot of signings, and I hope some of you might have seen, we were just talking about that on Facebook yesterday or whatever, and I'm hoping that Toby can come back and do more shows, more events soon, and get booked for those. So for Dark Crystal and Return of the Jedi. So then, because that's a good way we can all meet each other then. Sometimes that's the only time we ever see each other is at conventions. So let's close that up. So that's Toby's thing. Okay, let's just check your comments while I'm going along here. Hello, Aaron. Good old Aaron's always there. And then let's see what else we got going on here. Byron, love Dark Crystal. Actually, you know what? Let me see. I think I should be able to put these. How do I? There's a way I was supposed to be able to put these comments on the screen, and I'm failing to do that right now. I used to be able to do that, so forgive me. I'm gonna have to do a little test, aren't I, with someone to figure out what I'm doing wrong. It's been so long since I've done this, but I used to be able to click on your comment, and it would just then pop up on the screen for us all to see. So, oh yes, and Lizzie met Toby, of course, 2 years ago at the Fraudfest thing, whatever it was called. So, let's see, Simon, Michael Farnham, question. It's always good to put question in front or a Q in front if you have a question. Do you get tired of piloting that ship in Galaxy's Edge? Well, here's a little secret. There's actually 6 9 nums all rotating, 9 for the animatronic version on a wheel, and they're all programmed. I think there's footage or a picture of it somewhere. And they're all programmed to work because there's like 6 versions of the ride happening at the same time. Probably not allowed to say that, but anyway, I just did. So it's this weird animatronic, just the upper part of 9num that they work at slightly different sequences for the different parts of the ride. So yeah, I think that's right. I think at any given time there's six parts of the ride working at the same time at different parts. So there's 6 of me. So there you go. Sorry about that. Spoiled it now, haven't I? Eve, hi Eve. Brian, hi Brian. Jason, I can see Facebook comments. Yeah, under the screen. Yeah, I want to be able to like put them up on here in front of me. See, so and there's a button that lets me do it, and I'm failing miserably, but that's okay. Yes, Monique, I'm in the forest again, in the forest of Endor, or Sherwood Forest at least. Claire, no, I wasn't involved in the new Fraggle Rock. That was like the original, shot in Canada, this time in Alberta, not in Toronto. But like the original, I worked on the co-productions in the UK and France and Germany. So mostly they have to hire Canadians for their funding and all that kind of thing. So the majority of the performers and crew were Canadian, and then just a few key people brought in from the States that as they needed, that they could get away with, basically. So it was really hard for them to pull in too many people from the States. But they had to bring in people like Karen Prell, of course, and John. But yeah, and Dan. So they got a few, and Donna. Yeah, so they got a few people, which was good, a few key people, and the rest are all Canadians. So now, if they want to do some Uncle Matts over here again, I'll be happy to resume doing some Matts for them. I guess I should put that to the producers. So after all these years, it's great though. It looks really good, doesn't it? It looks amazing in high definition and colorful and beautiful. So Forest of White. Hey, Justin. Kristen. Hello, Kristen. How you doing? I'm enjoying your videos, by the way. Very funny with the distorted face and voice. Really good. Makes me laugh. So let's see. Just looking at your little comments here. Nick. Clicking on any comment. I know, that's what I'm doing, and it's not coming up. Isn't that? Yeah, I'm in Restream. I'm in chat. And I'm clicking on the comments and they're not coming up on the screen. I must have a setting wrong. You're right, though. Hey, there's Toby. All right. Is that how I join in? So, Toby, we were just talking about you. You'll have to go back and watch the replay. I just did a whole happy birthday for you. So, happy birthday, Toby. In fact, man, I should have done that afterwards. But anyway, I showed a few pictures of you and said nice things about you, which is good. So welcome, Toby, and happy birthday. I think it's for tomorrow, isn't it? I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Either way, happy birthday, Toby, and welcome to my little attempt at a live stream here. Let's see. So yes, in Mark saying this, the songs in the new Fraggle Rock, there's a combination of redone original songs and some new songs as well, and some of the storylines as well. So good. Well, everyone's telling Toby happy birthday. There you go. So yeah, Toby, go back and rewind to near the beginning, and maybe about 10 minutes in or 5 minutes in, you'll see your little birthday tribute. So there we go. So what else can I tell you? Something else I just kind of wanted to bring up, actually. Let's go to this new scene here. Douglas Trumbull, visual effects specialist and extraordinaire. He passed away a few days ago, last week. And he was a pioneer in visual effects. And I kind of felt it important to mention him. He was actually asked to work on Star Wars. But I think he turned it down not because he didn't want to do it, but because he was busy, excuse me. But he worked on the original Star Trek movie, but he pioneered so many things. Let's have a look here. Let's see. I think I want to put this one up. Yeah, here you go. So that's him, and obviously that's something to do with Star Trek there. So 1942 to 22. So that's very sad because he was an important guy. He also directed a couple of movies, one being the classic Silent Running with Bruce Dern, as you can see there. How many of you have seen Silent Running? It was a long time ago when I saw it, but I kind of want to see it again now. Hey, Wally. So, yeah. And Stephen. Hi, Stephen. Yes, it's 14th. Toby's confirming his birthday is tomorrow, so that's lovely. Good. I'll raise a glass for you, Tobes. Yes, and that's right. As Jason is pointing out, Doug Trumbull worked on Close Encounters. Thoughts on Size Noodles in the Book of Boba. Did she survive? I suspect not. I mean, but Max survived, and I don't know how Max. We're still trying to find out how Max Rebo survived the sail barge explosion thing and turned up in Book of Boba. So let's see. I'll get to questions at the end if that's okay. I see Michael's asked what was my favorite puppet, and I'll probably do a Q&A thing and a chat thing at the end if that's all right, because otherwise I'll forget and get distracted. But ask again if I don't answer that. So yeah, Cool Runnings. So yeah, Cool Runnings. That's different to Silent Running. Justin, yes, actually, Cool Runnings is good. Definitely want to see that again. Let's see what else. And of course, already showed that one. Here we go. And of course, Doug sort of created so much for the Back to the Future ride at Universal, which I saw a bunch of times. It's been closed a long time now. But it was amazing because they built this whole miniature model set that the cars, you didn't actually fly through, but you felt like you were flying through because everything was projected in this big 70mm, I think it was 60 frames per second dome. And what was it? I think he called it, I don't have my show notes up now, but I think Doug called it show scan. And so he was one of the big proponents of a higher frame rate back when everybody was doing 25 frames per second on their films. sorry, 24 frames per second. I forget where I am. And he wanted to do 60, and so things like the Back to the Future ride were a big sort of new push forward for 70mm format and 60 frames per second, and which then I think he had something to do with the IMAX format, and that may have been part of what became IMAX. I'm not quite sure exactly, but he was a proponent of IMAX as well. So he was a very important figure and did a lot of things. And yeah, he worked on so much stuff. Close Encounters being one of them as well. So yeah. So there we go. Well, I'm glad the stream is working. It was Omnimax screen, curved version of IMAX. Thank you, Jason. Okay, see, there you go. What a knowledgeable bunch of fantastic people we have here. This is why it's so great, because you can tell me the bits that I don't know. It's amazing. Hey, Antonella, don't worry about missing the beginning. You didn't miss anything because it was all rubbish. So, so it's all good. It's all good. But anyway... okay, so yeah. Anyway, tribute to Doug Trumbull. I didn't ever meet him or work with him, sadly, but he contributed a lot. Let's see, something else I wanted to talk about. One of our Star Wars friends, not performers, but one of like you guys. He had he didn't have an accident, but his I didn't pull in all the pictures, did I? Yes, I did. Hang on. There we go. Joseph Dennis. He has a severely disabled son, and they need their car to get around and do hospital visits and I don't know what. Anyway, it was parked outside their place where they live in the middle of the night. Someone, while they were sleeping, someone ran into it, and it has now been totaled. And they basically don't have... Yeah, there we go. So basically, he's put up, or I think his wife or something has put up a little GoFundMe campaign, and you can read about their son, Daniel. And they're just trying to raise a little bit so they can, I guess, because apparently the insurance will cover the remaining payments, but of course it won't cover the replacement of a vehicle. So they're now without a vehicle. So they've set up a little GoFundMe, and I just wanted to mention that here. And let me just pop that up. So that's where it is. But you can also ask me on Facebook or find him on Facebook as well. He's a big... Joseph is a big Star Wars fan. Big, huge Star Wars fan. And that's kind of cool. So anyway, just thought I'd mention that. And I wish them all the very best and that things can work out, because that is just so unfair. The same thing happened to me just before I initially moved to the States in 96, I think it was. 97, I don't know when I moved. But anyway, I had a car I'd bought from new, Austin Maestro, nice, decent car. And then it was parked out in the street, and some kids, like 14-year-olds apparently, were joyriding another car and smashed into the back of mine, totally warped the frame, and it was a write-off. And what I got back from the insurance company wasn't enough to replace anything even close to that. So, I was so bummed. And it was because they were minors. I guess they couldn't do that much with them, So it was a real horrible situation. So I really empathize with that. Anyway, okay, so that's that. All right. Next order of business. What else have we got here? Let's see. A lot of you know about this, but I do want to bring it to your attention for those of you that don't. In fact, I have some updates on it. So we're in the middle of doing this a special signing thing right now. Trevor and I. Trevor Butterfield, or Butter Trevor Field, as I think I'll call him from now on. He might not like that, but he hasn't got any choice. So of course he was in various parts of Star Wars there, as you can see. But as you know, as some of you know, he was there we are. We're on a plane going to Germany. So that was kind of cool. I don't know why I put that up there. But anyway, I've got this thing going on. I'll put up a link just to my main regular links a bit later. But we're doing. There's 200 available. I think 25 or so have already been sold. Sets, pairs. And so it's the call sheets that will be signed and an 8x10. Let's have a look. Yeah, and of course, as I think I pointed out in one of my videos there. This is Revenge of the Jedi on there, which is great, and it's got the date and the time and who was in the scene, and there you can actually see. Whoops, moved the wrong thing there. Yeah, you can see Stuart Ziff, who was the ILM guy, sort of technical guy, and then Tim Rose and Simon did cable controls for 9num, so that's why they're down there, and then Trevor as one of the gunners running back and forth there behind me. So let me remove that. So now, I let me pull these sheets up. I got stuff back from the printers. Gosh, it was, what day is it? It's over about a week and a half ago, maybe something like that. And they're nice and thick, by the way. They're like on these really thick cards, and they're laminated with kind of UV. Well, they've got a UV coating, so you can't actually tear them. And there's like this plastic covering on them, so it's really quite good. But anyway, that's what these are like. And Trevor will probably sign there. I mean, he can sign up there if he wants by his name, but I don't know, just whatever. So those were fine. But even though this is more representative of what is in the movie, I've just felt it was a little bit dark and dull. Compared to what I like to see on a wall. It's all right, but I just thought I don't know. So anyway, I went and had them reprinted last week, and they arrived a couple of days ago, and now they're just a lot more vibrant, and there's a bit more color as well. So if you can see the two back to back, you can sort of tell the difference there. But I mean that's subtle, but it just, to the eye, on the screen it's looking a bit brighter, but to the eye it just looked a little bit flatter than I wanted. So I like the nice new brighter, the mids are brighter, and there's just more color in there and stuff. So those are going off to Trevor, hopefully Monday. And now Trevor, as you may or may not know, is a visual effects person of some description. Hang on, where's my notes? Oh God, as you can tell, I did have all this organized, and then I shut it all down when I rebooted the computer, so I wouldn't have. Let me see. I'll find it. Let's see. There's me notes. I have show notes here, and I don't even have them pulled up. It's so pathetic, isn't it? Oh well, I guess it doesn't matter. But anyway, Trevor, worked on the Harry Potter movies as a special effects guy, and he even worked on Labyrinth as well. Interestingly enough, as a special effects guy. So, and I think he's actually working on something right now. I'm not quite sure. So I was going to bring him on and do an interview here as well, and I may do that soon if I can get him. But he's working quite hard at the moment. So I'll try and grab him or nab him at some point within the next month if it's possible, and we can have a little chat about Return of the Jedi and stuff like that, which would be quite good, I think. But anyway, so I'm going to mail those off to him, and then as soon as he can get to signing a big old batch, he'll do that. I think it will be soon, very soon, and he'll send those back to me. We're doing overnight special deliveries, so everything's kind of quick and safe in the post, and then I'll get your orders fulfilled. So that's kind of fun. Let me have another look at chat here, see what I'm missing out on. Star Wars, what's that then? So, just looking at all your various comments, I missed. Oh yeah, okay. So some of you have done the Back to the Future ride. Yeah. Okay, just backtracking there. Sorry, I missed a few of them. I've been talking too much, but that's why I'm here, isn't it? Hello, Ron. Let's see. Lee. Yeah, a bunch of you have ordered these already, which is great. So, but I kind of I want the quality to be good and for everyone to be happy with it all. So it's worth the extra cost and the week and a bit delay for reprinting. But anyway, Trevor's out of town. Hello, Bill. Yes, okay. So Michael went to the Back to the Future ride when it first opens. It looked like I think I was there fairly early on and went several times. It was running for what, 15, 20 years, something like that. It was amazing though, wasn't it? It was great. I really loved it. So clever and fun and just why did it have to close? Why, because now all that stuff's come back again. It's almost retro and people love those movies again now. I kind of wish they could just keep that stuff going forever. So. Well, Bill is here. Bill Goss. Hello, Bill. Thank you, Mike. Like my forest. So, ages and 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 ages ago, Bill sent me a little pack. And I opened it to make sure it wasn't going to explode or anything. But I've not actually looked inside yet because I kept saying, well, I'll wait and I'll do it. And nothing ever happened. So I'm going to do it live now. You're going to see my very first, what would be an unboxing. So, okay. So let's see. Oh, what's that? Something with someone else's address on there. I don't know what that is. What's that, Bill? Why is there someone else's address on there? What's going on? I'll ask you about that. Let's have a look. Yes, The Simpsons, that's right. I did see that once, I think, The Simpsons ride. There's a bit of cardboard in there, cardboard packaging. Let's have a look here. So, we have a lovely, oh my goodness, that is really fun. Look at this. This is a lovely, it's in a covering at the moment to protect it, but there we go. Look at that. I think these are all hand inked. But how fun is that? And now the little characters up there. That's amazing. Oh, this one has, hang on. Oh, that's right. This one doesn't have characters around it. This one here does. Look at that. So there's Yoda and Snoodles and a bunch. Oh, how lovely is that? So who was it did these, Bill? Let's see. Bill will catch up and tell me in a minute. Very nice. I say, that's rather good. There's a whole stack of those in there. Very lovely. Thank you so much. Where's Bill go? And then, oh, look at that. Very nice. A Nightmare Before Christmas Star Wars mashup. How brilliant is that? How blooming brilliant. That is amazing. Is that the same artist or is that someone else? There's a signature at the bottom, so I'll compare. I think it's... Oh, it is the same person. Okay, I'll have to get their proper name. Okay, so lovely. Well, thank you, Bill. Very, very cool. Very cool. Reese Finley. Okay, thank you. All right. Thank you. So yeah, it took me a month to open that thing. But anyway, what more fun than doing it live in front of billions of people watching this thing live stream. So that's another one done. Let's see. And before I move on, I just want to let you know of I'm just going to dump on my promo stuff right now. Basically, I have, some of you will have seen this. This is my sort of link seam thing, which is where all my links are, and I try to keep it updated. So the top one there says Mike's Community. That is actually, I have a sort of a sign-up page here, and it's basically where you can get on my new sort of Mike Quinn like what I'm doing is sort of congruent with what I'm doing now with my videos and my YouTube stuff. So basically, if you sign up to there, then you'll get my little how our experiences shape us and 60 ways with all that stuff. So there's a little 42-page freebie there you can download as well. But that's just a way that you don't miss. If I'm gonna be somewhere or do something like this, or have a fun video up, I can just send you a thing, maybe an email once a week or less probably, and let you know what's going on. So, and I'll try and throw in other perks and stuff in there, but feel free to sign up for that if you wish. And also, of course, there's my my new YouTube channel that is just for my diaries and my live videos. So it's all the fun stuff, basically, all the silly, stupid stuff. So do subscribe and like on that, and that will make a difference to me. At some point, I will be able to get sponsors and that kind of thing, and then that will help pay for doing better quality videos for you and that kind of thing, and still keep it free for you as well, which is the important thing. So the more you can do that stuff, the more it helps me to produce better quality things and more fun for you for free, which is what we love. So why not have a sponsorship or whatever? Do that, help pay for that stuff. And then some of you know, I have this my little cameo thing going on, where a lot of you have already got some lovely orders and stuff, and I've got all these beautiful 5-star reviews, so those are always fun. So that's also linked in my main thing there, so which is this. So, and that's at the top in my bio in my Instagram page, and you should also see it in my main link on my Facebook pages as well. Under wherever there's a URL or whatever website address, it should link to this, and I'll try and keep this up to date with all the new things and put the newest stuff at the top and that kind of thing. So feel free to do that or ignore it as you wish, but I'm trying to sort of make everything a little bit easier, so I just provide. In fact, there it is. No, that's not it. Hang on. Where is it? Where's my? Oh, hang on. Is that it? I'm trying to find where I put. So, where did I put this thing? Hang on. I put a link to. I just had it, didn't I? That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. That's not it. There's somewhere there's the. God, it must be buried in another menu. Lovely. Well done, Michael. That's fantastic. Oh well, I'm not going to worry about it, I suppose. But anyway, you'll find the link if you need to. But there is a link somewhere, which I was going to put at the bottom of the screen here and have failed miserably, of where to find that stuff. But it doesn't matter. You're here. You're here. I'll get it right next time. You know what? Things don't have to be perfect or anything like that. So, okay. Cassie asked if you can hold up the drawings again. She just missed the opening. Thanks. The sketch cards. Yeah, I have the original sketch cards are still available on, again, linked from my Linkseam link. And are you talking about new sketch cards, like different ones? Let's see. Who was asking that just now? Peter Barnes. Yeah. You're talking about new characters. So yes, these are the that you wanted me to show again, right? So there's one with and without the other characters. Really, really fun, aren't they? They're lovely. You can see all hand inked and stuff. So, and then this is a print of the other one there, the Nightmare one. So lovely. Okay. So let's see. Thanks, Toby. Yeah, I'm trying to. The thing is, you don't want to send people to 100 different places because it's too confusing. The more you can just show people where to go in one spot, it's just easier, isn't it? Thanks, Callisto. Yeah, take care. I'll see you later. This is Endor behind me. Yes, it's Endor It's an Endor and Sherwood Forest mashup behind me. Computer games on Twitch. Thanks, Chris. I would not rule it out. I'm not a big gamer. At least not the newer stuff. The shoot 'em ups and that, and the third first person things and all that. I have animated that stuff in games before, but my poor little fingers, kind of have trouble keeping up, and I'm a bit rubbish at killing thousands of people at once in 1 second. So I like the other kind of the old school CD-ROM games and stuff where you'd go exploring, or the old LucasArts ones where you'd fly the Falcon through Beggar's Canyon and all that kind of stuff. I don't know if you'll remember that stuff. So those were the kinds of things that I used to like playing. I don't really have a lot of time for gaming, though, at the moment. And in a way, sort of figuring out disasters like this here, those are a big enough challenge for my brain. I don't need any more games to challenge me. So, this stuff's hard enough as it is. There you go. Thank you, Gabrielle. Put up my links. Thank you on the chat there on I assume probably my main Facebook page. So thank you for that. That's very kind. Look at that. People moderating for me already without me even asking. But Judy, hey Judy, how you doing? My foot, it was my knee. Yeah. It is, except for when I kneel down because I forget, and then I kneel on that bump, and it's like, ow. But it's fine. I can actually. Didn't affect my joint. Normally when I bash my knee, I can't bend my knee, and it just lasts for weeks and months, and it's just horrible. But this seemed to be okay, and I can bend my. Oh, that's another thing I was going to talk about. Where's that? I think I've lost half the things I'd set up in this. I was going to talk about. Let's have a look. Well, anyway, I have a graphic, but who cares? Yes. So. On Wednesday, I'm traveling to Florida for Pensacon in Pensacola, not to be confused with Pepsi Cola, which is a bit more fizzy than Pensacola, apparently. So, and that'll be I think Friday 1 till 8 p.m., I believe it is, and then all day Saturday and all day Sunday. Huge show. They got like 3 million guests and stuff. So I've never been before. I've never been to Pensacola before, and I've never done this show before, Pensacon. So looking forward to that and seeing some old friends. And Steve Whitmire, puppeteer, is going to be there as well. So I haven't seen him in a couple of years. So that will be good. And look, Netherlands. Hi. Oh my goodness me. Everyone's coming in. It's brilliant. It's fantastic. On this pre-Super Bowl warm-up show for those of you that do Super Bowls. So anyway, yes, off to Florida Wednesday. So lots for me to do. I have to take the pre-flight COVID PCR tests, and that's already been booked, and fill in lots and lots of paperwork and make sure that I have everything all that they need to let me in. But and back again, all that stuff. And then I'll leave Monday, and it's an overnight flight. I'll be back home by Tuesday. So, and then around that time, we'll start looking at seeing where we're at with these Jedi special autograph things, and then I can start shipping those out to you all. So, things are starting to happen, basically. We also have, I think, the Belgian Comic Con, which was postponed for me like 2 or 3 times. The last time they ran it, when was that? It was October or something, and I was supposed to go to that, but I was shooting in Morocco, so I couldn't. I had to cancel myself that time. So that, I think that's beginning of March, first weekend in March, is it now? So that will be good. I don't think they put all their guests up yet. So I will be in Judy. I will be in Orlando, I think, in I want to say September for Fanboy Expo, is it? I think. So there we go. Maybe I can fold in a little Rise of the Resistance time. I've not been on it yet. I've not actually ridden that ride yet, which is a great shame. I rode the Falcon the first night. It opened at the Disneyland opening, basically, when Harrison and Mark and everyone was there, and George. And I sat in the co-pilot seat, and I was rubbish. It's like, oh, this is like too hard. I'll just fly the toy Falcon where stagehands move it around. That's much easier, and let everyone else worry about it. But flying the simulator Falcon thing was really hard. But I'm looking forward to Rise of the Resistance. A few of you have been on it, I know now already. Super Bowel, yes, Ron. Yeah, lovely. And then that's right, thank you. So Comic-Con is March 5th and 6th in Brussels. So they haven't put up all their guests yet. They've only put two of them up, two of their headliners, which are amazing. But I'm looking forward to them announcing the rest of us. Hopefully it'll be this week, I would imagine, because it's only 15-20 days away or something. Eve, yeah, Disney, right? I know it'd be a good party. So if nothing else, I'll try and build in a little bit of quality time down there, so I can there's a lot of friends down there as well, of course, catch up on people. So that would be nice, work allowing. Work has been starting to happen from the summer onwards, really, bits and pieces, but it's kind of been happening more and more and more. And there's another thing that should be happening in March, April, here locally for a little while, if it all goes through. So it's nice to perform again, and that does mean that sometimes I have to, cancel or postpone a few events, a few shows, which I hate doing. But of course, everyone understands that, and I avoid it at all costs whenever possible. Hello, Lee. So, Wally went on it in December. Yeah, okay, good. A lot of people seem to get quite emotional being on it, which doesn't surprise me. Doing any Scotland gigs? Lee Dam Thornton. Yes, I'm doing what's that place? Aberdeen. I'm doing Aberdeen in, is it March or April? I think it's April. Monopoly events. Yes, that's Scotland, and I'm maybe doing an Edinburgh show again at some point. I forget when that is now. They asked me just last week if I wanted to. I did it 3 years ago or something, or 4 years ago. So, So, hi Kim. Kim can't do PensaCon. Yeah. It's I didn't realize how how far up it was into the Gulf there until I looked at it on the map. I knew it was I knew it wasn't in the main Florida part, but it's like way up there in the Gulf. So so Lee, you're going to be in Aberdeen, huh? Great. Yes, that'll be nice. Keith, what are you? Keith D. Winter. Were you at a show this weekend? Did you just do a signing this weekend, or was that last weekend? How many of your characters are made in Funkos? It's something like things that I've had something to do with. It's probably 4, 5, or 6 of them. Yeah, because you've got 9 numbers, 2 of him. There's the baby Ewok. There's reuse. No, there's a reuse one, isn't there? There's also Audrey 2. I think there's 2 versions of that, which I puppeteered part of. And then there's, what else is there? There's somebody else. I mean, I helped with Akbar, if that kind of counts. So there's 6 at least already right there. And there might be some others I'm not thinking of. Oh, so Pensacola is nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So it might be a bit chilly and rainy. I'm not quite sure, or it might be changeable. So I guess a little bit humid. So it'll be a bit different to here. But I'll try and bring clothing that's appropriate to switch in and out of layers, I suppose, while I'm there. It's going to be good. Shows are getting booked out, so lots more travel, and which will be good for me, keep me moving a bit more and not just sat here in the forest building fires, shooting at stormtroopers and things from behind trees. So that will be good. It'll be good for me. But just looking forward to more performing again. So, no perfect time of the year. That's true enough. Some of you will have watched all of Book of Boba Fett now, and some of you will have seen Fraggle Rock too, right? So looking at your comments. Oh, Keith's been doing his. Okay, I thought you had a show coming up, but maybe you do, or maybe you already did it. But yes, he's doing his Manchester City work. That's a football club to the uninitiated. So, yeah, Keith keeps busy. Oh, Durham March 6th. That's probably what I'm thinking of. Okay. Yeah, that's right. What was I up to in Morocco? I was working in animatronic creature, animal, for, what can I say? What is it? For a series. Not Lucasfilm, so don't get excited. Something else, but I don't think I'm allowed to say yet particularly. I believe it will be one of their flagship shows in the summer, like July or something. So as soon as I know and I'm allowed to say, then you'll hear me go on and on about it for 100 years. So Chris liked Book of Boba Fett, yeah. Mrs. Cresswell wants to know, where do I hide the stormtrooper bodies? In the foliage and undergrowth, of course. We use their helmets as soup bowls and things like that, and then all the bodies sort of feed the earth and make the trees grow big. It's lovely. Yes. So there, Mrs. Cresswell. Okay, so what else? What else am I missing here? I think I've run through a lot of the main things that I wanted to cover so far. So, you know what? As I think of things that I've forgotten and didn't prepare properly, I will... So I see Peter now on the YouTube chat. New sketch cards from your celebrity friends. Yeah, I did ask a few people about that actually. I know I mentioned it to Dave Barkley for Jabba, and he was quite interested in that. The thing is, most people don't have the mechanism or there's things in place to make it happen, because it's a big deal. You got to do the Photoshop layouts, and you got to get it printed and have all the things to ship it with, with and stuff like that. It's just a lot of work to generate and create and make happen. So that's why I facilitated that with Keith, with his character. But I'd be happy to do that with some other folks as well. They seem to be quite specialized and limited runs, basically, but they are quite. I think it's quite a fun idea. But as I said in one of my other videos a long time ago now, it's an old doing sketches is actually a really old thing. Actors and people have been doing it for a very long time, which in Hollywood and stuff, which surprised me. But it's quite fun. So I'll see if let's see, Janice. Hello, Janice. Never forget when you made the couch talk at Star Wars Weekends with Warwick. You remember that? Yes. The sofa. I think I got a cushion and started making it talk. Yeah, you were there for that, huh? That was a long time ago, wasn't it? That was fun. I really had a good time doing those. I missed Star Wars Weekends. I think that was the last one I did, because I did 3 of them. Yeah, good old Warwick. So that was nice. I'm glad you remember that. My goodness me. Pat, give your love to Steve. Yes, I will, yeah. I'll definitely do that. He'll be glad to hear from you. Let's see. Pete Barnes. What do you get if you mix a bounty hunter with a tropical fruit? Mango Fett. I want to try that. A little sorbet or something. I want to go back to Wadi Rum to work out there again. Join you as your PA. I know, that was amazing. We caught the back end, I think, of the summer, so it was quite hot to start with. But I think we were there 3 weeks, and by the end it was starting to cool down surprisingly quite a bit for a desert. And it was a lot cooler than where I was coming from, which was, Palm Springs and up there, which was a lot warmer, although it looked very similar with all the red and the mountains and the sand and all that kind of thing. Geographically, it didn't look that different to where I lived, but it was actually, that desert was a lot cooler than where I lived. So it's like, I wouldn't have minded it being a little hotter and a little warmer, but there you go. But the scorpions weren't such a good thing. But so let's see. Warwick on Tenable. No, I haven't seen Warwick Stufa on Tenable, actually. I think, is Tenable unobtainable? I'm not sure. But I don't even know what channel that's on. But Warwick's been super busy. as some of you will know. So good. Danny, seeing you in Florida. So good. Yes. Good. It'll be fun. I know. It's a busy show, right? I mean, although I've found that the ones I've done, for the most part, have been like packed, super busy record crowds. Everyone's just ready to get out and do this stuff. So lots of questions coming in. Okay. Willow. Yes, Willow might be one of the things Warwick's been busy on. That's on ITV. Okay. So let's see. People asking about the book. Book's the same, basically. I mean, as time goes on, I make little tweaks on it and add new things to it because more and more stuff's happened in the time, which is good in a way. But I have to get out to California to get my pictures. So that's still the same. I haven't been able to get out there yet. Which is where originally when we were living in Texas, everything got moved into Texas. And then when I had to quickly move out of Texas, it all went into storage there. And I was over here in the UK just before the pandemic hit. And our storage stuff got moved on our behalf from Texas to California, where the rest of my life was living. So some stuff had got ruined in the storage in that 10 years or whatever that it had been in there. But thankfully it got moved halfway across the country out of Texas. There was a flood risk there as well. So that was a major concern. The levees were threatening to be compromised a few times in the last few years. So I was getting really nervous. But anyway, we got that moved out of Texas and into my California storage. And so that was literally a month before the pandemic stuff all kind of blew wide open. And I was in the UK at the time. And I've not been able to get to California since, although that's looking much better now. So, but that's where all my archive photos are that no one's seen. They haven't seen the light of day in decades, and it was way before social media. So there's some nice labyrinth ones and all kinds of some of my ones from when I was a kid, like personal photos and stuff. I got within the last couple of years from my mum's house. So that's something that's fairly more recent as well. Some things that I hadn't seen before or didn't remember. So some of those at least will go in there too. But I just want it to be a good have a good day and stay safe. Thank you. Okay, Jeffrey Weissman, of course. Wonderful chap. Yes, I'll definitely annoy you when I'm in California, which hopefully will be this. It should be, I'm hoping spring, summer or something. I don't want to be there, too late, and when it starts to get silly hot again, because I got to go through all the storage in the 124 degree heat. But Jeffrey, I see you've got a Back to the Future event coming up too, haven't you? I think I saw a group photo of you guys. So, and for those of you that don't know Jeffrey on the chat here, he was in Pale Rider but played McFly's dad in Back to the Future Parts 2 and 3, and did an amazing job mimicking the actor. Nobody knew. It was amazing, and matching shots from the first movie and stuff, just incredible. But Jeffrey is a very talented man, a good actor and a good visual actor, visual comedian, if I may say that as well. So New Jersey, end of April. There you go. So yes, go to New Jersey end of April and see Jeffrey and get him and his Back to the Future chums autographs. Really good stuff. So I'd like them as well. I need to go just so I can get the autographs. So thank you, Chris. Yeah, see you at the event, I'm sure. So there we go. Let me see. So I've been on here an hour now. So that's not bad. I managed to get through all my nonsense. And it looks like we haven't got bumped off or anything, which is incredible. Again, apologies for the grainy image and the low quality of the image, but I will work on that soon and get it much nicer so it's a prettier picture and better quality, better resolution, and fancy graphics and things. When I hit the button to go live, it'll all just work perfectly, and it'll be marvelous. But hey, fail forward, as they say, right? Fail forward. So let's see. I know I missed a bunch of questions, and I'm sorry about that. Will I do Claire? Will I do MCon again? I will. They haven't asked me this year. I mean, I know they like to mix it up. Different years have different people there and stuff. So whenever they want me back and I'm free, I'll come along, because it's a fun show and not far from where I am at the moment. Let's see. I'm trying to remember some questions now. What was the heaviest Muppet I worked? I think was one of them. Heaviest Muppet I worked. Heaviest Muppet. I'm trying to think. Most of them are not heavy because they're they're built to be lightweight by professional puppet builders. So in terms of Muppets themselves, and personally, I don't think I've really worked anything that's super heavy. But if I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning and remember that, I'll personally call you and let you know. Some of them are just a bit big and unwieldy and stuff, but nothing comes to mind really. That's heavy. Not Muppet-wise. Other non-Muppet things, absolutely. Caitlin, what are my thoughts on Ron Muick? Wow. Well, I'm actually, for one thing, I'm very pleased for Ron because he's found something. For those of you who don't know, Ron Muick is Australian. And he was, I guess he was puppeteering out in Australia. And when in the early 80s, when Dave Goelz was working Uncle Traveling Matt for Fraggle Rock, he did a few Uncle Matts out in Australia. And I think Ron was hired to be his assistant to do rods and things like that. And Dave was so impressed with Ron Muick that he told Jim about him. And Jim Henson brought Ron Muick over to the UK for Labyrinth. During 84, 85, and so Ron was Ron was the main guy, I guess, inside Ludo, and Rob Mills did some Ludo. He was like the second guy so they could tag team inside Ludo, and then I worked with Ron Muick on I think he designed a little bit of stuff on the Ghost of Fafnir Hall. I think he did the maquettes maybe for that. I'm not sure if that's right. But he certainly did the sculpts for Jim Henson's Mother Goose Stories. So that would be, again, early to mid 80s. So he was at the... I have video footage of him at the pilot on Mother Goose, which was kind of fun. Back when he was still a puppet maker, and then worked with him again in, I think it was 86 or 7 on the Tale of the Bunny Picnic. He played the storyteller bunny as well, and then I think he and Cass Willing got married, didn't they, at some point? Who I'd worked with as a puppeteer on many things as well. I think Cass was performing on the Muppet Christmas Carol before they were together, probably. But meanwhile, I think with Ron, I'm going to make an assumption here with Ron Muick, but when you're a sculptor and you're a puppet maker and you're a performer, there's always kind of a little bit of a conflict between the aesthetic of how something looks and getting it to move and perform. And sometimes they can be at odds with each other, and it's a really hard thing to reconcile. So Ron is now famous for making these large, realistic, oversized sculptures. I'm not sure what he makes them out of exactly now, but his stuff tours all over the place, and he's been doing this for a long time now, and they're just amazing. I haven't seen any in person yet, but I will at some point. But they're just incredible. He does such great work. He is such a great artist, and so I, for one, am really pleased because I hope and feel that he has found his joy, his bliss, his creative reason for being, So that's what I think about Ron. I'd like to see him again, actually. But if anybody gets a chance, you can search his stuff online. His sculptures are online somewhere. But definitely, if you haven't seen them, look out for them because they're amazing. So good for you, Ron. I don't know where he is now, if he's back in Oz or wherever. But it's amazing. So. Yeah, I need to get back to Star Wars Fan Fun Day in Burnley That was a great day. That was a wonderful, wonderful day. A very nice surprise, actually. So that was the first time it's Blackburn now. Oh, okay. So it's a different location. It was great. Everyone was lovely, and I had a really good time, and I was very pleased. So I've been once and hope to come back a second time before too long. So let's see. And Rhode Island Comic Con, I did that, before the pandemic, just before I think it was. That was a good show. I enjoyed that a lot. Hope they will have me back at some point. Again, they like to mix it up with different people on different years, but yeah, Phil Fletcher's fun. I saw him recently at just last year at a show. Where was that? I want to say actually maybe it was no, it wasn't Wrexham in Wales. It was a different one. But anyway, it was nice to see Phil again. He's always a good laugh. Hey Peter, you're and Sabine from Germany. Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? Hey, so we'll soon get back to it all. I've just been asked to do a show at Nuremberg, so I forget when that is. Sometime in the summer, maybe later in the year. So it hasn't been finalized or contracted yet, but I'm hoping that will all come together so I can go there. In Germany, which would be lovely. So Ron's abandoned us. He hasn't returned. I don't know where he is. Who knows? So let's see. Was it crammed together when you all puppeteered Labyrinth scene with all the goblins? She's going, was what crammed together? Oh, was it cramped? Were we all cramped together? Yes, we were. Although I was in the front row, so I was okay. But yeah, like Warwick Davis was in his goblin up on a box, and I think his mouth was radio controlled. So yeah, we were all like reaching in, piled in tight there, as tightly as we could be, for sure. All trying to find that little space, That's always the thing when you're doing even a Muppet scene. You try to find that little place where your head can be, where you're so that all the Muppets can be seen in a tight space, but where you are not seen, but you can still see a monitor. It's almost impossible, but it's a thing. So there were some other questions. I think one of them was what was my favorite puppet or Muppet. I can't remember which one it was. I saw that earlier scroll by. I don't know why my comments are not coming up on screen. I'm going to have to do a test on this. I'll try and get it figured out for the next time I'm live. Favorite. It's so hard. Puppet-wise, there was a guy that I built for myself and performed years ago in the UK in the late 80s that I really enjoyed. So I do want to rebuild him. I keep talking about that. And sort of bring back a version 2 of him. I've been saying that for years now, so I will do that because I think I really want to. Muppet-wise, it's hard to pick a favorite Muppet, really. Some of them are kind of hard because they're these legacy characters, and you can't really make them your own. You have to try and mimic the visual style of the original puppeteer and honor that. And it's quite a responsibility. It's a very hard thing to do, but it's also epic and awesome. So sometimes the fun Muppets are the ones that aren't really a known character, and you can just kind of fool around in the back and upstage and do your own thing, do whatever you like. So there we go. So sometimes those can be kind of silly, whether it's chickens or pigs or something. So no, puppeteers don't sweat. The puppets are the things that sweat. Yeah, because they're the ones working hard. We're just underneath having a good time. So how many puppeteers were needed per Skeksis? Brian's asking. On average, it was something like 4, I think. We'd have, the main puppeteer doing the head and one arm, and then another puppeteer would reach in and do the other arm. That's 2. And then depending on what was needed on the faces, you'd have anything from two more puppeteers upward to work cable controls, because they were all on little levers and pulley, kind of like bicycle brake cables at that point. So I think I probably had about 2 people on cables, and then an assistant for the arm. But some would have 3, probably like Chamberlain and Gotham Master would have had maybe 3 cable pullers on their faces for all the eyebrows and sneers and blinks and stuff and cheeks and that sort of thing. So yeah, it's quite a lot. So let's see. Hello, Benjamin. How's it going? It's good. Look at that. All these lovely people. And someone hit a thumbs up on my YouTube channel. How nice. Thank you so much, whoever that was. Look at that. I went up from 38 to 43 subscribers. That is very nice. Thank you. I won't say no to that. What was Bowie like to work with? He was great, actually. I mean, he was not intimidating really at all, because he just kind of was a normal guy. To me anyway. I know some of you have read Toby's story about sharing a cigarette with him off set, but to me he was just having a laugh and approachable, and it was just there to have a good time and do a good job. He wasn't crazy in any way. He was very, very professional, and just wanted to have a good time and do the best job he could. And he seemed to respect everyone around and stuff. So to me, he was very down to earth, actually. Very kind of quiet sometimes. In fact, so just, sit there and observe, or stand there and observe and make the odd comedic comment once in a while. And same for the music videos too. I worked with him on the 2 music videos that went with the film. So, okay, yeah, very good. Such a great talent, and so smart and creative. And definitely, it was a sad loss to find that he was sick and had to leave a bit too early, So, but he shone brightly, and he left us with a lot of great things, and I'm sure that's all he wanted anyway. So yeah. Watching on a TV. Sorry about that. Next time, hopefully you watch me on a big TV. It'll look a lot nicer and sharper and prettier and all that kind of thing. So was it difficult? Mark asks, was it difficult not to stare at his codpiece? Well, here's the thing. I think he would eat at the executive restaurant, and I would probably eat mostly in the canteen in those days. So I don't know if he had cod or haddock or plaice, or if he even liked fish. I'm not sure. So I would imagine he'd like a nice bit of steak or something. So I couldn't really say. So I bet he liked chips though. So, how did I get into puppetry? I always liked puppets as a kid. I had string puppets, glove puppets. I made my own as a teenager. I became a Muppet-obsessed fan. And like a lot of people did that became Muppet and puppet people. And just kept annoying them until they gave me a job, basically. Jim Henson was like, well, he's here all the time anyway now. We might as well put a puppet on his hand. So that's the very short answer to that. Persistence, not doing puppets was not an option for me. No matter what it took, that's what I was going to do. So I found a way. The universe found a way. So there's a lesson there somewhere. Do you really, really want to do something enough? Because if you do, you'll probably find a way somehow. Let's see what else. So I'm trying to think what else I can let you know. So I think, as I mentioned at the beginning, basically for the YouTube channel, I just want it to sort of kind of be organic, and as I can make my little edited diary videos, I'll do that. Ideally once a week would be perfect. At the moment, I'm not even close to managing it. But as I get more proficient and more organized and keep them nice and simple, I'll be able to do that for the most part, I think. And then a few little lives once in a while like this interspersed as well. So yeah, I think it's good. It'll be fun. And it's good also to hear what what you folks like. What do you want to see in my videos, or do you just want to sort of let me find that level of what works and leave it up to me, but let me know, if there's something that you would like me to do in these videos, or if you want to see more sort of puppet type things, or just, would you prefer more me and my shenanigans in life, or a bit of both, or something else? Let me know, and I will take that on board and see if it's something I can do. So, let's see, what happened to the most puppets and other stuff with the Dark Crystal? A lot of them kind of, they degrade. The foam the foam inside turns to dust quite often, and the foam latex on the outside tends to kind of crack and crumble a bit. But a lot of them are in exhibits and museums and things right now, and the rest are stored away, I think, but a lot would need severe repairing, or might even be beyond repair at this stage to do anything with. So, shenanigans, yes. Lizzie wants to see more dancing. Okay, I may make that a thing. I could learn a routine, and yeah, I'd need Pat Garrett to help me with that, though. I think she's the only one that can save me from dad dancing, because that would be bad. So okay, so we've got dancing. We want dancing. What else do we want to see? See more Keith. Yes, we'll have to get Keith on as a guest. Although Keith and I we've been threatening to do our own actual show for a few years now. And that still needs to happen. But in the meantime, I can drag Keith along onto some stuff of mine as well, and we can have a laugh. So that's good. So we want a bit of Keith, a bit of dancing, making notes of all this. Let's see. Do you need an assistant? Yeah, to mix some drinks though, but I don't think anyone wants to do that for me. Although I quite like mixing my own cocktails, so that's okay. Let's see what else. Some live puppetry would be fabulous. Okay, so puppetry on a live stream as opposed to puppetry on my diary, I guess, is what you're. Yeah. Now, Keith's a great dancer. I've seen him. Keith you see him in Panto. Oh my goodness me. He can dance across that stage like he owns it. Yes. Improv. Yeah, puppets I don't improv with my puppets. They improv with me, which is a bit of a scary thing. So, yeah. I don't think it used to be that way. Something switched over the years where the puppets sort of became more dominant than myself. So I have to be a bit careful with them. I only put them on once in a while, and I have to have backup. I have to have a safe word and that kind of thing. So I'd like to see what you collected through the years from filming. There's not a lot. I have a few tiny bits, but there's really nothing to collect because stuff belongs to the production companies, and it goes into their storage or their archives, or cataloged in some way. So there's not a lot. A Muppet edition of Dancing with the Stars. We did that already. We did that. I was on Dancing with the Stars for the Jason Segel film. You didn't see that, Ron? Yeah, that was interesting. Seeing how the mechanics of how that worked. I mean, yeah. So we've done that. More Harry Ramsden's. Yeah. That curry sauce. Oh, it's so good. Lauren Hardy stuff. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. In fact, my tapes are in California for that too. That I've been trying to get digitized recently as well, because everything was shot on HDV for that. And I want to get them fully digitized so I can work on that stuff here as well. And all the images that I took and collected, and I got some stuff from the local library when I was in Ulverston for the Laurel and Hardy thing too. That's all in my storage in California too. So when I'm going through my pictures, I'll have to remember to pull that stuff out as well, so I can then start putting that together. So everything's kind of been a bit stuck in limbo for the last 2.5 years, really, it seems, which is really horrible. But it's starting to change. I really feel that, and we're going to get there. A puppet baking show. That there was one, wasn't there? That Kirk Thatcher directed, a Henson one, I think, last year or the year before. Yes, puppet safe word. Yeah, I don't know what it needs to be, but I will. Yes, Ron, you were sleeping. So yeah, it's probably online somewhere, or there might be someone might have some footage of it. But we did Life's a Happy Song, and Michael Rooney brought in his dancers, and we did the Muppets and the arches at the back, just in front of where the orchestra would be. Yeah, it was really interesting. I'm watching how they technically create that Dancing with the Stars show. Everything is mapped out on these charts in the control room, so that the camera's cut on certain beats of each of the song. It's like, it's not just random. I think I'll cut to camera 3 now. Everything's like to the frame, like marked out. So it's a tight show. And of course, we worked with the host. I forget his name now. A few times now. He's lovely. It's on the tip of my tongue. You know who I'm talking about. Dancing with the Stars is the American version of what's the one in England called? I forget now. But I think the UK one was first, right? I can't remember anybody's name or anything. It's great when you get old like that. It's like you don't even care. It's like, okay, I can't remember anything. Doesn't matter, because I don't know what I'm not remembering. Found today at Gotham in US. Oh, I say. So, yeah. Let's see. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else before I come back on next time round. But I'll have a whole new bunch of things to talk about then. What else? Any more questions? Strictly, that's right. Strictly Come Dancing or something. The English one is called. I'm not quite sure. So it's just been shorthanded to Strictly. So it's a bit of a mystery to me why it's called Strictly as opposed to Loosely or something. I don't know. It's really weird. I guess did it start out as more of a ballroom dancing show? Is that the thing? Maybe that's where the origins are. Recommended made things. I don't know what that is. Audiobook. What is that, Rich? What is that? The giant foot in Kidding, was that really that big? Yeah, it was a giant foot, and they made a giant hand as well for when he gets picked up. Swazzle, I think, made those. So yeah, it was a big old giant foot. I think mostly styrofoam and then covered in fur and stuff like that. Oh, it's a puppet thing. Okay. Favorite Muppet Show sketch. Oh. I'll have to think on it. Oh my goodness. There are so many, and I remember most of them because they're in my earlier part of my brain that still works apparently. So, gosh, yeah, that's a good question. Picking one, that's the thing though, like a character, picking one out of the thousands. Here's something though, speaking of Muppet Show sketches, and it's something I might put up on my Facebook pages or something soon. I was going through some old Spike Miller Origin is Come Dancing. Okay, which was more of a ballroom dancing thing. Thank you, Don. There you go. I forgot what I was just saying just then. That's the problem. What was I talking about? Remind me. Tell me in the chat what I was just about to say. It'll come back to me. I got really excited, so apparently it was quite good. What was I going to say just then? I have no idea. Oh dear. Somebody can somebody not read my mind and look into the future and let me know? Surely. Muppet Show sketches. That was it. Thank you, Spike Milligan. So I was well done, Mark. So I was looking at some through some old Spike Milligan sketches, and I found this one, and I think it's probably from the 50s or early 60s. Not quite sure. A TV sketch from one of his shows, and Spike plays a sort of a quack doctor, and on the operating table is Arthur Mullard, who is an English character actor as well. And there's like a couple of other doctors and nurses around. And Spike's sort of this, really bad doctor, doesn't know what he's doing. And this other doctor is really shocked. And they're talking about insurance and like who's going to pay for this and all that kind of thing. And then every once in a while, Arthur Mullard pops up and says something like, are you really going to operate on my appendix or whatever he says? And then he drops back down again. And I thought, this is the origin of Vets Hospital. I know because Jerry Jewell wrote the Vets Hospitals, and I'm pretty sure I remember him saying he was a fan of the Goons and Peter Sellers and Spike Milligan and all that stuff. So he knew those guys, and I think he was a fan. He appreciated the absurd and the surreal humor that those guys had, and that influenced him as well. So I think that's the origin of the Vets Hospital sketch. It's kind of just like it. So I thought that was really interesting. That was a new discovery, and I'll put that up there for you in the next week or two, hopefully, for you guys to look at and let me know what you think. But it's like that's Vets Hospital, Spike Milligan. So I read your mind. Shame on you. Who's Shirley? Shirley was a dear lass. A dear lass. Okay. So we've got dancing, we've got Keith, and we've got puppets for my videos. Some live and some recorded, right? So I'll try and mix it up. Maybe I'll see how it goes. Maybe do one live to every 3 records or something like that. But it depends on what's happening, and some of the things I may have to keep like super short. But hey, something's better than nothing, isn't it? Just to keep connected. Sadly, there will be things that as I'm working on stuff, I won't be able to talk much about until much later. So I can't, it's like it would be nice to talk about that stuff now. But all in good time, I suppose. At least when the stuff comes out this year, anyway, there should be a few things that are going to pop that I'll be excited to tell you about. So, plus a bunch of traveling for shows. So Keith wants to be my puppet. You've been my puppet for years, Keith. You just didn't know it. I'm sorry. Ask Gail, she'll tell you. She knows. Sorry. Carrie, hi Carrie. How are you doing? Jumping in. Been a while since I was trying to think. The last time I saw you was probably at like a celebration or something, 150 years ago or something, in some other country, right? Star Wars convention. I don't know. It was a long time ago. So, you ever have to make a Muppet puppet character based on yourself, what would it be? It's basically the character I was talking about earlier, that I'm going to rebuild. He's a complete nutcase, but he says things that even I can't say, and that's saying something. So essentially, he's like a more extreme version of me. So Star Trek, Star Wars crossover. Do like a TikTok video that we can all add to. Yeah, I've been actually just recently looking into that and realizing that's another thing I can play with soon. I've not, I could open up an account and I've been learning about how people use these things. Yeah. So right, so because I guess that's how it works, right? You create a core video and then other people start building on it and working with that. Is that how it works? I don't know. I mean, it's separate to the ones that just do a video and that's it. So I still have more to learn on TikTok videos, but it's all good stuff, right? I mean, it's all entertainment at the end of the day, right? Short form, why not? Chappie, hello Chappie, how are ya? Looking over at my chat here. I'm sure I've missed some of your stuff. I'm terribly sorry if I have. Do forgive me. Scroll back. I'm sure, yes. Muppets did a dog walking song. It was hilarious. Do you remember it? Yes, it was Richard Hunt. I think it was called The Dog Walk. And it went something like, when I take my dog for a walk, he takes me for a run, dragging me along the street is his idea of fun. From lamppost to lamppost, we jog along the street. From tree to tree to fire hydrant, watch out, baby, watch your feet. Here's another thing to go, we've dozens more to meet. Why out here on the street? That song. Never heard of it. Not bad. Not bad. Yes, celebration, rap. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Yes, celebration. One of the Florida, or probably, no, I bet it was East Coast, wasn't it? Indian something or other. Appalachia, one of those. Long time ago. Back when I was thin and didn't have all this sprouting out and all that kind of stuff. Yes, Sinclair, that was the one. I think it was a UK spot though. I want to say it was one of the little 2-minute things that, because the UK had an extra 2 minutes to fill with less commercials than the American version of the Muppet Show. I want to say it was a UK spot. I might be wrong. Oh my goodness. Good old Richard Hunt though. That was a typical thing for him. Richard liked singing though. Richard liked entertaining in general, whether he was on camera or not. Hey Jerry, how you doing? Good to see you too. Let's see. I don't know what time is it. It's 8:00 here at UK, and that would make it what 7, 6, 5, 4. Is it 3 p.m. East and then midday Pacific? Not. Yeah, I don't know, maybe. And then as far as Australia goes, I have no idea. But I don't want to keep you forever, but it's Super Bowl Sunday for those of you that like that. Is anyone going to watch Super Bowl? Anyone just watch it for the commercials? I used to not watch Super Bowl for the commercials. I used to just go to a website that just had the commercials on, and I didn't have to mess. I could see them all within half an hour and not mess with the whole thing of guys with padded shoulders stopping and starting for about 5 hours. I don't know quite what that was about. So yes, going to ICCC. So I think I'm going to be able to make that. Yes, around shooting. So yeah, but I hear that's a great show. I can't wait to go. Yeah, it's going to be good. In wherever the IC is. Is that the one in Knoxville? Is that the one? Or tennis? Yes, I can't. I get them all mixed up. Forgive me, unless I have it written in front of me. The rhyming song. Yes, I remember the rhyming. Yeah. Although was it 7 or 8 years ago? We did those Muppet Super Bowl commercials with the Toyota Highlander or something. Where you could fit 8 people in the car. And we did a whole bunch of these ads. And then we did some online ads as well. Great fun. So it was exciting seeing, your commercial on the Super Bowl. Yeah. Nashville. Thank you. It's Nashville, Tennessee. Nashville. Of course it's Nashville. I don't know why I said Knoxville. Probably because they're both Bills. But I don't think I've been to Nashville before. So, yeah, another reason to, of course, I think the venue's out near the airport or something. It's not downtown or anything, but hey, yes, Ron is out of victory cookies. All donations welcome to send victory cookies to Ron. Super Bowl party with friends stuck in Liverpool. That's boring. That's a shame. Terribly late. Did I miss everything? Sarah, you missed Jeffrey. He was on here. He might still be on here. You sort of did, but you sort of didn't. I mean, this has been how would you put it? A very very loose live stream of things not going perfectly to plan, but everyone's very forgiving. and you can. I think it'll be up. I mean, it'll be on my YouTube channel as well, so you can scroll through it and fast forward through it. But I had a few false starts earlier, and things weren't where they should have been and weren't connecting right. So you missed the boring parts. And yeah, I mean, sure, you should have been here. You missed such a great evening. We all had such a great time together. Another thing I might be able to figure out actually soon is where I can bring a few of you up as guests on the show. I'd have to send you a special little link. And I don't know if it's all browser based, I think. So as long as you use Chrome, then you click on the link, and then I could bring you in as a guest, provided you have a decent enough camera and we can hear you. So that's something I might do in the future too, for these lives if somebody wants that. So go Bengals. Yes, they're the Bengals, and who is it? So I forget who else is playing now. The old Tiger clips with Dave Goals. Yeah, Jason. Yeah, I think there's another clip or two I need to put up. This sort of conclusion of Humble Gary. Another one I want to put up, I have to see if I can source it, is Spy Guy, where a duplicate Balthazar bear is brought into the toy room, and it's a spy toy, and he can disguise himself as different characters. So he sort of does all these voices of the different toys in the room, but ultimately they can't tell the difference between Balthazar and him. And the morning of the shoot, it was supposed to be Dave Goals performing Spy Guy, and he had an upset stomach. Something was he just wasn't like, I can't do this. So literally show up in the studio and, Mike, can you do Spy Guy? Like, okay, hadn't done the read through, hadn't paid attention to any of the proper character stuff or any of that. I read the script, but I didn't have a whole lot to say in that episode. So I quickly kind of figured out, okay, what do I do? What voice am I going to do? What's the character like? And basically had to kind of wing it scene by scene. And it ended up being really fun because I got to just sort of spar with Jerry Nelson, and we had this Balthazar sings this song, I think, if I remember correctly, that Spy Guy is in, and it was really nice. So I'd like to find that episode as well at some point. Working with Jerry was always a joy and a great thing to remember. Let's see, Mark. Dave didn't puppeteer in the new Fraggle Rock, seemingly. Is he retiring from Muppet performing also? No. He's doing, of course, voicing Booba and Uncle Matt. He's doing the voice for them. But I think basically because the shooting was many months up in Alberta, Canada, in the cold, and a long duration, and very physical as well. I mean, I guess I'm sure he was given the choice, and it's probably not that he didn't necessarily just didn't want to do it, but I'm sure it's just he probably, I'm putting words into his mouth, but I would imagine he thought it was just a ton load of work, physical work, away from home for a long period of time, and if he doesn't need to do that, then he's not going to do and save his body and strength for Gonzo and Bunsen and stuff that's a bit more local and just less intense and demanding, because those shows will kick your butt, and the older you get, the harder it becomes, for sure. So I do sort of get it. I understand why he didn't do it. I haven't spoken to him really about why he's not puppeteering on it, but I would imagine that would be it. Just the physicality and the daunting thought of being up there for months and months on end, and it's physically hard work. It's just so hard. So I'd rather he save his physicality for stuff that he can manage easier, I suppose. So no, yeah, he's not. I'm not aware of any of him retiring at all. I think he will try and keep doing his main Muppet characters for as long as he possibly can, and I hope that's for a long time. So it's you can't. I don't know. It's just so hard to replace these people. So I don't want to think of a world where Dave isn't doing Gonzo and Bunsen and his other incidental characters. So I hope he'll be around for a long time doing these guys. So yeah. So I don't blame him. I don't know how old he is now, 70 something. I mean, it is just so hard, And also with this kind of work, something for me I notice anyway is, you can go for many months where you're just not doing that job, and then suddenly you're thrown into it, and it's this intense thing where you have to be an athlete again overnight, and you go from 0 to 100 kind of instantly. So it is hard on your body, if you were just sort of doing it all the time, or could work into it over a few weeks or something, get your body used to it, that would be good. But usually that's not the case, and you go about your life and do your less physical things, and then suddenly you're doing this very specific set of muscle work that you just kind of have to wake up again. So it's hard to get back into this stuff when you've not done it for a while. So but yes, I'm sure Fraggle Rock will get a second season. I'd be surprised if it didn't. I mean, I'm sure it's not a cheap show to make. It looks expensive, for sure, which is great. It looks amazing, doesn't it? Very vibrant and colourful, and it's nice to see these characters with such clarity and definition, finally. So, yeah. Thanks, Rich Carlson. Yes, take good care. Or bye. You might have already left now, but if not, bye. Yeah, it's very well put together, and they've tried as hard as they can to honor the original show. They don't have the original music guys. They don't have the original Jerry Jewell as the head writer. Different, of course, directors, and to have a continuity on something is really, really hard. But the fact that it's also still made in Canada might have something to do with that. To have that sort of that Canadian ethic, that sort of, I don't know what it is, but it's good. It's a good thing. Happy memories of visiting Fraggle Rock in Canada, and the rap party as well. That was quite epic, and sad for them in many ways. After 4 years of doing this, I'm slurring my words, 4 years of doing this wonderful work that everybody loved so much, and they all loved each other so much, and so doing them having to attend the rap party was very very finite, I suppose. I remember it was at the Four Seasons in Toronto, and Rob Mills and Richard Hunt did Junior Gorg, performed Junior, and a few other people did some turns, some acts and things. It was amazing. Again, I think I have pictures of that in my box that I was talking about earlier. There's photos of that somewhere. So that would be good. There might even be some video around somewhere of it too, but I don't think I have it myself. Jason, I remember we were staying at the Four Seasons for that rap party, quite a tall building as I recall. I don't remember how many floors it had, 24 or something, I don't know, quite high up, but I was fairly high up. I remember taking the elevator down, probably to the lobby or somewhere, and I get into the elevator, and who was standing there but hang on, what's his name? Oh dear. The guy from Anthony Perkins, he was in there in the elevator, and I remember looking up at him, and he kind of looked at me like like, don't say anything, leave me alone, like, I'm not going to say anything, so he just smiled, and that was it. So amazing. Jim's Convincing John. Convincing John was one of those characters that Jim would just sort of like play at. He's like, there are no rules, I haven't got to worry about anything anymore, I'm just going to play and have fun and just let rip and have a good old time. And I think that's what Convincing John was about for Jim. I think just letting go and playing, and he just loved that stuff, and that's why those characters were always so big and energetic, and and crazy, because it's just I think it was a release for Jim in many ways. Yes, St Anthony's Head in Cornwall. I have video and photos of that as well, actually. And when we were shooting the original location work for UK Fraggle Rock at the Lighthouse in Cornwall, the producer, Duncan Kenworthy was, I guess, the main producer, who did 4 Weddings and a Funeral and all those Hugh Granty type things. Hugh Grant, yes, like that. And Victor Pemberton was the writer, and I think he was also a co-producer on the UK stuff. Victor Pemberton he passed away a few years ago now, but he was known for, he worked on some Doctor Who's, and as a writer, and wrote some books, and audio books and things like that. But he was famous for inventing the sonic screwdriver for Doctor Who, which was fascinating. That was a big contribution. So we were with John Gordon Sinclair, the Scottish actor, actually, yes, and we were down in Cornwall, and while Duncan and he were Victor were out at dinner, it was Dave Barclay, Karen Prell, myself, and John Gordon Sinclair. We stayed back, and we knew the hotel guys quite well by this time, and they let us haunt Victor's room while he was gone. So John Gordon Sinclair was an electrician in his day, so he wired up the bedside lamps so he could flicker them on and off. And we had his room had an adjoining door, so we got the room next door, so we could run everything through to the adjoining door. And we rigged up a series of strings and pulleys on little eyelets that would rattle the coat hangers in the closet on cue. And I think Dave Barclay rigged up a tape recorder, portable tape recorder, to play back. Oh, he rigged it to a servo control, so when you flip the servo, it would engage the cassette recorder, and would play this tape of us all like making these ghost sounds and stuff. So we waited an hour or so till they finally came back, super late and merry from some wine, I'm sure, and gave it about 5 minutes for Victor to get in the bed and settle down, turn the light out, and then we started haunting his room, like just one little thing at a time. And I have it on video. I hope the video is still intact. But we were like giggling like little kids. The fact that we'd rigged it. Oh, and the bedside drawer opened on its own as well. It was again rigged with little strings and stuff internally. So all running down the skirting board and through this adjoining door, through these little eyelets and stuff. And it seemed like it took about 5 minutes. Until finally, I think he realized, hang on, there's something going on here. But he was quiet for a very long time. So I'm thinking maybe for a bit there, he really did think something was going on and wasn't quite sure. I would love to have seen his face. But eventually, I think probably when the tape recorder and the hokey voices started happening, he realized it was a gag and found it. And then he came out of his room and was like, thanks, guys. But the devil makes work for idle hands, doesn't it? Good times. Good times. Thanks, Mark. Yeah, see you later. Definitely. Yes, it took us ages to get all that sorted out, but it was so worth it. It was so worth it, just for the story, really. But John Gordon Sinclair was fun. Hey, BJ! Oh my goodness. Good old BJ has joined the chat, and BJ is an accomplished puppet maker, puppeteer, and we've worked together on quite a few things now. And gosh, I love that film that you worked on. I think we discussed this on Facebook, BJ, down, was it in Atlanta or where were you? With, what's his name? Yeah, it was an awesome film, and you did the puppet things and stuff. It was fantastic. BJ, put in the chat what it was, because people need to see it if they haven't seen it. It was amazing. I loved it so much. I hope you're doing well. Great granddad used to put fishing wire on my nan's picture frames to make them swing and terrify her when she was a kid. Oh, okay, brilliant. See, a little bit of fishing wire, a bit of Dacron, and it works wonders. Willy's Wonderland, Atlanta. Thank you. Yes, there you go. So people, if you want to have a good laugh and be entertained, it's amazing. See Willy's Wonderland. It's so I enjoyed it so much. It was so ridiculous and crazy and fun. But BJ worked on that as a puppeteer, and I guess some construction as well, I assume. I forget now. But down in Atlanta, yeah. Good stuff, man. I hope there's more of that. I hope you're keeping busy down there. Yeah, but it has been a while. Yeah. And BJ, you know, some of you will know he has those courses on the Stan Winston School as well, on how to make puppets. Yeah. And we worked on that Glee show episode together, didn't we, as well, where BJ built all the puppets, where all the cast turns into puppets, into hand puppets because of the gas leak. That was an awesome event. It's on Netflix or Prime. Yeah, it's one of the two, so it should be easy to find. I liked it, so maybe it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I thought it was epic and awesome. Willy's Wonderland. See it. Let's see. I can't quite tell. Yeah, I think I'm in the wrong chat part of Restream over there. Like I say, I'm broadcasting through Ecamm, which is my main sort of setup here, but then I'm using Restream as a conduit to send out to all to syndicate, I guess, to the different channels. And there's supposed to be a thing that tells you how many people are on and who's coming on and who's coming off, and I should be able to click the chat button and your chats will come up on your screen so you can see them too, and none of that is happening. So I think they have changed their interface too recently since I used it last, but I'm clearly going to need a refresher course and I'll work on this stuff a little bit more for next time. So anyway, I've gone on and I'm sure you're all like thinking, when's he going to shut up just so we can leave already? You can always sneak off quietly. So hello Joe Weatherford. Are you in the UK? I am currently as you can tell from all the forestry behind me here. So right now I'm in the UK. Headed to Pensacola on Wednesday. Just up the road from you, isn't it? Down the road from you. So yeah, Atlanta's north, isn't it? I always thought Atlanta was further south, and when I looked at it on the map, it's like, oh, it's actually quite up there, isn't it? So kept thinking Atlanta was closer to the Gulf Coast, but it's not, which is probably good because it will help you not have quite so many hurricanes or quite, be in that danger zone. So Daryl, thank you, Daryl. Stories, lots of stories. Yes. It's funny though. It's nice to remember these things and think, oh yeah, we did this and this happened, and it's good. It's very good. So anything else anyone would like to throw into the pot while we're still here before I'm surprised I haven't had the stream break on me. I have such terrible bandwidth right now and it hasn't broken, so that's a miracle. So you need entertaining till 11 p.m. Let's see, what's the time zone is that? Oh, that would be UK time zone, won't it? I guess. Maybe. I'll dance. I'll do some dancing. I'll do some puppetry, some improv. We'll bring Keith on. We'll do a guest chat. We'll have a nice sort of 8-hour live stream. It'll be fine. I'll cook some food, come back and eat it, and pot noodles and have a drink. Yes. So what is it now? It's 8:23 here. So I'll tell you what. I'll stay here for another till 8:30. Then I'll have sort of been on properly about 2 hours, and that's probably an hour, way too long for you guys. So let's see what else we can do to fill up that last 7 minutes. But otherwise, what are you all up to? Yeah, UK. I thought you were done. Yeah. What are you all up to? How are you? What's it's middle of February already. It's insane. We're going to have spring here soon in the Northern Hemisphere, which is looking forward to that because it's been a bit cold and wet and windy here. I mean, it's quite calm now and the sun's starting to come through, but yeah. I am actually going to build a little set back there at some point. I want that ready by the spring if possible, late spring, early summer at the latest, but something that I can just literally wheel around and turn on all the lights, and it'll just be a nice, and instead of just a bit of fabric that I wheel around, something that's a bit more interesting and nicer. I think that would be quite good. And then later on, if I can bring some of my puppets over from California, maybe hang some up in the set or whatever, I'm not sure, but so that would be nice. So I'm trying to, I'm just like working with what I've got at the moment, which isn't a whole lot, but it's enough, I guess. And then I can improve on the quality and everything later on as I go. Yes, he said, yeah, I mean, it's great. I guess the interwebs gods are with us today. So it's amazing. 8 hours with Keith and I. Yeah, we will need some aspirin after that. I think 8 minutes of Keith and I might be a lot for some people. But actually, I do like that idea. I think I do need to maybe bring Keith on for some stuff. We can have a little chinwag together. Certainly once I get better bandwidth, because when I bring people in, I think it messes a bit with my bandwidth incoming and outgoing here. So when I upgrade this, I'm going to have to get a mobile hotspot, because I'm already maxing out what's possible here, which is super, super slow, and it will not upgrade to there's no fiber or anything like that. So once I have that, then I think I'll be better for bringing guests in, like Keith. If I can afford him, that is. That's assuming that his contract isn't too long, and then I can afford Keith and his exorbitant fees. Mayfair, yes, Mayfair. Yes, the Punch and Judy Mayfair in Covent Garden. I was just telling someone else about that the other day. Last I looked a day or two ago, they hadn't settled on the exact weekend. It's looking like it might be the is it Sunday the 8th of May, rather than the 1st. It's usually the first weekend in May, but it's like people are thinking, what I've read anyway, they're assuming it's going to be like that's second Sunday in May, which is something like the 8th. Let me get out my little calendar, little book, my special little book. Yeah, so the first Sunday is in May is the 1st of May. But it's Mother's Day in England in the UK on 8th of May. But we're all assuming it's going to be the 8th of May now. And it should all be going ahead, and I'm currently here for that too. So not been since the last one, like 3 years ago. And the last two were cancelled. So yes, I forgot. That's right, Sarah, that you're going to try and get down for that. So, but just keep a look on the website, because they'll probably be updating it soon, I imagine. So, Keith, I'm only 5'2", eyes are blue. Keith and I need to figure out an actual dance together. I think that would be really funny. So 5th through the 12th. Yeah. It seems they haven't confirmed it, but it sounds like they're leaning towards the 8th. So who has been to the Punch and Judy Mayfair in Covent Garden? It's I think this year might be 360 years since Samuel Pepys entered into his diary where he first documented seeing a Punch and Judy show in Covent Garden 360 years ago. So that's why it's held in Covent Garden every year, and that's why there's a pub there called the Punch and Judy pub, which when we were filming Return of the Jedi 40 years ago, and 40 years ago next month we were shooting Nine Numb in the Cockpit with Billy D. Williams. One of the first things he asked me was, have you been to the Punch and Judy pub in Covent Garden? Because obviously he had. So it all comes back around. It's all just one big circle of life, isn't it? One big hug, right? It's just one big hug. Keith's got the perfect dance. Have you now? Okay. See, Lizzie likes the dancing. She She just wants to laugh at us and take pity on us. Yeah, 360th birthday. Okay, so I got that right. See, Sarah's very knowledgeable, but Sarah's a dancer too, so that will be embarrassing. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Yes, it's Toby saying yes. There's a plaque for his dad in the church. I'll have to see that. I don't think I've actually seen it myself. That's right though. Yeah. Toby, you would have gone in the 70s, 80s, probably. I think I first started going early 80s for sure. And then I'd missed it for decades while I was out of the country, of course. But yes, Toby comes from a puppeteering family, so he's one of the few that's like the real deal, that has that lineage and that legacy and that DNA. So there, did you get that? Good. Repeat it back. There last year, Covent Garden. Next time to the pub. Yes, yeah, it's nice. It's nice. I've noticed it got a lot busier in the decades that I'd been gone in Covent Garden. It's like, oh, suddenly restaurants have spilled out onto the pavement, and I don't know. I guess that's a good sign. I remember it being a lot quieter in the 80s and 90s. But anyway, so I can't think of much else that I need to bore you with at the minute. And I'm sure you're ready to be released back into your real lives again. But leave comments, leave some feedback, and if you have a bubble speak, yes, like bubble wrap and stuff like that. This is not a cocktail, because if it was, I promise you, it would be in a very lovely cocktail vessel, and it will have straws and umbrellas and just have that color to it, and lots of crushed ice, and I will have a slightly different look on my face when I drink it. But it's in the winter time I sort of stopped having cocktails because it was just too cold, and it meant going down into the cold basement kitchen and mixing things up and stuff. So, but the weather's going to get better soon, and I'll get back into making some nice cocktails again. So, Jason's not wearing pants. Okay, that's what I said when I was drinking. Yes, vodka. Okay, we have a vodka fan. It could be, but I like rum. And I'm liking my whiskey. Let's see. Greatness is not equal length. Think you don't reduce yourself. There you go. Yes, there you are. No, absolutely. It's not about the length, it's about the width, right? That's what counts. I have to say that now. But anyway. But yes, I wasn't terribly organized. I wasn't as organized as I wanted to be, or as disciplined. But here we are. We're just hanging out, chilling, having fun, and interacting, which is nice. And I want to keep this going. So thank you all for encouraging me, and for hanging out and interacting and helping, and being there, so I wasn't just talking to myself for an hour or two, which I would have done anyway, because what's different. But but at least I had someone to talk with now and share things with. Yes, I do like the Jamesons. And an Irish coffee, a real Irish coffee though, not with the squirty cream on top, but with the floated stuff on top. Yeah. A place called the Buena Vista in San Francisco allegedly imported the first Irish coffee into the States from Shannon Airport, as I understand, in the 50s maybe. And it's the proper deal. It's the, oh my goodness, 4 of those and you're happy as anything. It's so good. But yeah, they float the cream on the back of the spoon. None of that squirty fake stuff. And they're really amazing, perfect Irish coffees. It's like so good. But yeah, thank you everybody. I'm sorry I've missed some of your comments. I've tried to keep an eye on some of them there, but on both the Facebooks and YouTubes. But yeah, thanks for your support, and let me know what else you want to see. Otherwise, I'll just keep doing my thing and keep trying to push more stuff out to you guys for the fun, and that way I know I'm still breathing, which is good. Breathing is good. Okay. I think that's everything. The voices. Ron has voices. Mike, do you like Monkey's Shoulder whiskey? Monkey's Shoulder. I probably haven't had that. Where's it from? But I'm interested. Hey, Sabine. Yes. It won't be long. We'll be back. We'll see you all soon, either in the UK or in Europe or even the States. How much of a pain was it to wear the costume for 9 Num? It actually was okay. It actually was all right. The head was lightweight. It was well balanced. It was, it fit on a skull cap. So that part of it was fine. I could stay in there for hours if I wanted. I think the real issue for me was, the boots were kind of really uncomfortable. So my feet would get really quite sore and tired from wearing those giant boots. I tried to put things inside them to help out a little bit, but they were just hard. But the biggest issue for me really was there'd be such a heat build up, because it was sort of a padded red suit. It wasn't just a thin piece of cotton. It was like quilted, and so heat would just really build up, and then with the neck piece over here, and the only one place for any air to escape was a little hole in the back of the mouth that was about this big. And when the mouth was closed with the radio control, then there was no air getting in or out at all. So there were no other holes in the head anywhere for the heat to escape. So it would just get super hot, and oxygen would be an issue, getting enough oxygen in, especially if I was doing something a bit more physical. So that was quite hard. And then, of course, the eyes would fog up within a couple of minutes. And no matter what I put inside, I tried pretty well everything, silicons and washing up liquid and the anti-fog stuff and divers things, and it was just so intense. So the heat there was so much moisture that they would still fog up anyway, and it became hard to see. So when I had to walk around, I'd sort of have to count my footsteps and subtly feel a bit of a set. So I'm on the corner now, and there are a few times where I had to go up some steps blind, and in The Last Jedi, I was running through the tunnels with those guys just before they discovered the Falcon at the end there, and I tripped over it. It was a curvy little tunnel, and it was dark. There was a big boulder on the floor that everyone else could see except me, and I tripped over it and fell hard on the ground. Messed up my thumb, got a bruise where the battery pack was here, and put banged my knee up. It still hurts me a bit to this day sometimes. So I did some damage to my knee. That was agony. So but we did one more take, and that was the one they used in the film. But it was kind of embarrassing because you got Oscar Isaac and Carrie and Anthony Daniels. Everyone's there in front of me. And it's like, sorry guys, and while tears are rolling down my face, take the helmet off, and catch my breath, put it back on. We got it, but this stuff happens, and I'm willing to do my own stunts. It's totally worth it. The sad thing is, you don't really see him in that scene. It's so dark, and the way they edited it, you don't really know that he's actually there. But he is right behind 3PO. Anyway, so 9 Num's great. I hope I get to do him again in some intermediate show or series or film or something. That would be really, really nice. They could give him more dialogue this time, and they could let him speak English, because why not? And let's hope so. Toodly Pipsky Sarah. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go because, you know, it's embarrassing at this point, isn't it? It's like the guy at the party that just won't leave. It's like, okay, everyone's gone, but you're still here. Yeah, we have to like do the washing up now and feed the cat and make the bed, and you know, I don't want to be that guy, but it's too late. I already am. Okay, all right, I'm gonna get out of here as soon as I can find the button. Oh, there it is. There's a button that says finish. It's probably that one, isn't it? Okay. Thank you so much. Enjoy Super Bowl Sunday for those of you that do. Happy Valentine's Day tomorrow for those of you that do. Happy birthdays for those of you that do this next week or two. And otherwise, I'll see a few of you maybe in Pensacola next weekend. And yeah, see you around on the socials and the interwebs. Thank you so much. Take care. And let's see, Monkey's Shoulders. Can it be Distillery in Dufftown? Oh, nice. I have to try that. So, yeah, Disney Plus series, so we can see how we got into the rebellion. Exactly. There's loads of things we can do with Nine Numb in the future. I just have to remind people, because people forget about him, it seems. You know, they're all worried about these other characters. So, okay. I'm out of here. I'm going to get me a little alcoholic beverage and a snack and hit the sack. And tomorrow is a new day. Next week it's going to be a busy week next week. I got so much to do. I haven't even started packing yet. Organize all my pictures and pens and clothes and oh my. And not forget my passport. And pay my bills while I'm gone. Okay. Lots of love to you all. Thank you. And see you next time. Bye. 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 I'm going, honestly. Just reading. Bye.